What's up, RML fam? For those of you guys who haven't seen my post on Facebook and Instagram, we are having our very first giveaway where you can bring home this super dope poster of hand-drawn endemic species of plants in the Philippines. This gift was given by our guest for today's Homie Humpday, Johnny Altomonte. So hope you guys can all check out those posts so that you can see the mechanics on how you can bring home that super dope poster. Now, let's get on to the Homie Hump Day. What's Gucci, ma? Nuggets? And welcome to the Homie Hump Day show of the Raucous Modern Life podcast, where the episodes are fun, light, and filled with shits and giggles. These sods will be ad-free with less editing to highlight the kagaguan of my friends and I. So if you got time to spare, let's get retarded in here. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. Homie Humpday. One. Greetings, my fellow Earthlings, and welcome to the Homie Hump Day show of the Raucous Modern Life podcast. Now, it's been a while since my last animal podcast. I don't recall having any during season 2, so I couldn't strand not having one to kick off season 3. And on today's show, I'm bringing on some very familiar voices of the RML podcast. One of them was one of my first guests, where we talk about our love for animals in episode 2, season 1. She is the co-project head of Keystone, environmentalist, and the beautiful Arianna Norton. And my other guest, we did not talk about animals whatsoever in our last pod, which is really strange because he's arguably the most qualified to talk about these things amongst the three of us. But we talked about his company and other fun stuff in episode 2, season 2. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to do so. He is the CEO of Vern Energy Solutions, environmental scientist, and the broologist, Johnny Altomonte. What's up, guys? Thank you guys so much for being on the show.
Hello.
Hey, pleasure to be here.
Happy to be back, definitely.
Yeah,
We've
Feels
done
very
that.
familiar.
we've got 2 returns. I like this.
Yeah.
I like it being like the recurring character in a sitcom. I like that role.
Exactly. And then it will increase as the show goes on. So hopefully we can make this podcast a regular. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have another guest, Mr. Sandro Campos, that was going to join us. We had a segment where we talked about wildlife facts back in season 1, episode 10, but he is also a full-time medical student, so, priorities, guys. But shout out to Sandro, and yeah, I'm just happy that you guys could make it. So, to kick things off, why don't you introduce yourself, like by your nickname or however you like to be called, and why don't you state your favorite endemic species and why?
Okay, I'll go first.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Arianna. I'm also called Ri or Riri or Ritu. I don't know, whichever.
Bad girl Riri.
Yeah, bad gal Riri. I wish. Yeah, I studied environmental science in college, but that's kind of boring. What else about me? Oh, the endemic species. Okay, this is gonna sound a little bit basic and a little bit boring. I have a few, but then I was trying to decide which one to talk about the most, at least. And I really love the Philippine eagle. I don't know if it's because there was a class in environmental science where we had to write a paper just on the Philippine eagle and also watch a movie for it. I don't know if you guys have seen the Philippine eagle. I don't know what it was called. Bird of Prey. I think
Yeah.
Bird of Prey.
Yeah.
Great movie. And I just love the fact. I love the fact that they're monogamous.
Mhm.
I think that was like the biggest key thing for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, an animal that just stays with its partner forever. They also, the females are larger. That was also really, really cool. And the fact that they changed the name from monkey eating eagle to Philippine eagle because of I don't know, they tried to make it sound a lot nicer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
actually don't eat monkeys as often
Yeah,
as
yeah.
before,
It's
which is
like other
strange.
things, small
Yeah,
mammals, birds, reptiles,
lots of
things like that.
rats.
Yeah, which makes them also like a keystone species. And you know me and like keystone, I love it. Yeah,
Little
yeah,
wank wank.
yeah. Little there. But the other animals that are on my list are the deer. I just love the Philippine deer,
Hmm.
Philippine spotted deer in
Another wink at
particular.
Keystone.
See, it's just all over the place. Yeah, they're just so cute. They look like babies throughout their lives because of the spots. And
Yeah.
the Philippine
For
mouse deer too.
Oh
Super fun.
yeah, those are really cute. So for those of you guys who don't know what the hell a Philippine spotted deer is, for those of you guys who are watching the video podcast recording, this is what they look like. Just like cute little Bambi looking fellas, but
Yeah.
endemic to the Philippines, which is fantastic.
Aren't they so cute? They
They
have
are really
spots
cute.
forever. Usually, like with regular deer, right? It's like when they're babies, they have the spots and then they grow out of it. But then this one, it's forever. It's cute.
It's really cute. And although like the Philippine eagle is a pretty general answer, I don't think you could be blamed for it at all because it really is such a gorgeous animal. And you know, I've said it in this pod before. I wasn't always a fan of birds,
Yeah,
large
that's
birds
right.
of prey specifically. Like they used to creep me out a lot as a kid, but the Philippine eagle definitely made it to like my top favorite animals in the world because they're just so special and so unique looking. Like you won't be able to find any animal that looks like this anywhere in the world. So I mean, I feel
An
like you should have
icon.
no shame for picking that animal.
Very, what's it, nationalistic. Something.
Pinoy
Yeah, it's
pride,
true.
baby.
Pinoy
Pinoy
pride.
pride.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Philippine
right
eagle,
on.
the Philippine deer. Proud to be Pinoy.
Mhm.
Love it.
Good answer. What about you, John?
Yeah, so I too did study environmental science, but according to Riri, it's boring, so let's not talk about that. um, my favorite endemic species, and I'm gonna throw a little curveball because one, Roque said species and did not specify fauna, so I went with flora.
Oh, that's fine.
Um, and it is, and also there's a little plug too, and I, had to, of course,
Of course.
I had to plug something in there. But it is the Amorphophallus clavatus, and if you Google it, you will not be able to find anything on it
Interesting.
because we are still describing it. So
Ah.
we are writing that paper. It'll come out this March. But a little background on the genus Amorphophallus. They're also known as corpse flowers. And they're known as corpse flowers because they bloom like maybe once every couple of years. And it's just one single flower. So it's basically just this potato, right? It's a tuberous, it's like a tubered underground. Normally every year it shoots up a stalk, which looks like a normal plant, right?
Mhm.
It's got a petiole, it's got leaves and all of that. And then it reverts back in. And then every couple of years, it shoots out this giant flower, the biggest flowers, or well, inflorescence, if you want to be precise. The largest ones in the world, and it smells like rotting flesh. It's amazing. Just like the worst smell ever, because it's normally pollinated by flies. Now, this specific one, this species, is the only montane species
What does that
ever.
mean?
They're found in mountainous forests.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So within a certain elevation. And so it's the only one, and it's the smallest one in the Philippines. So it's this really cool, unique one. We're going on an expedition this March. And yeah, we're going to describe it and publish that, and that'll be fun.
That
Have
sounds
you smelled it
insane.
yourself?
Huh?
Have you smelled it?
No. So hopefully, when we go on the expedition this March, we'll find one in flower. I doubt we will find one. I'm not sure if they will be blooming around that time, and it's hit or miss, right? Because they like in a 5-year period they'll flower like just one of those years.
Wow.
So if you catch it, that'll be great. But yeah, that is my current favorite endemic species. If I want to go like fauna though, the I don't know how you say it, Draco or Draco. I'm gonna say Draco, like Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
But they're basically flying lizards. They're just really cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I forget the name though specifically.
Uh,
Let's try to go Philippine flying eagle. But where
Flying
did you find?
lizard.
Yeah,
Flying
flying lizard. Eagle today. Sorry, the picture of the eagle is looking at me in the face. Where did you find this plant, and how did it like enter your like sphere of knowledge?
So I'm one of the things I'm doing now is I'm working with the Philippine taxonomic initiatives. So they're just a bunch of cool dudes go around exploring and identifying new species, and one of them just stumbled across it and was like, "Shit, this thing is not where it normally is as a genus because they're not normally found in like montane areas,
Mm-hmm.
but this is definitely an Amorphophallus, so it has to be new." So he did an initial write up, and we're going on a couple of expeditions just to round out that initial paper, and yeah. That's
Damn,
basically it. Pretty fun.
that sounds pretty fun. How long do you plan on being on your field work? I guess looking for this plant. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it because I know I'm just gonna butcher it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be long really. Maybe like 3, 4, or 5 days somewhere up in the mountains.
Like here in the Luzon Mountain region,
Nueva
or
Ecija. Yeah.
ooh,
So it's
that's up
gonna be
north.
in, yeah, not too far, honestly. It's like a
Yeah,
7 hour drive, I think. Not the worst.
yeah, not the worst. At least you can just drive it. You don't have to fly all the way there.
Yeah, oof, I don't wanna fly now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna show the listeners slash watchers what the Draco minadensis, yeah, looks like. So look at that wing pattern. Honestly, it's absolutely
Fucking
insane.
cool.
I don't know if it's right to call it a wing. I don't know what to call it, like a
A
pectoral.
modified appendage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks
Sick.
absolutely crazy. It has like stripes and it's like black, and then they come in like different color variations too. This one's like
Love
a
it.
little yellow, kind of looks um like a butterfly. It would. I actually wonder. Like, do you think that these lizards are actually capable of flight or just gliding?
I think gliding. Like it
Probably
doesn't
gliding.
flap or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's like an actual like limb. So
Yeah.
I don't think it actually
But it can
flaps,
be.
you're
I'm
right.
sure it's pretty far though. Like from tree to tree, from branch to branch. That's. I mean, considering its size, I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's small, and it's going from tree to tree. That's far. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
They're
That is
so
pretty
cute.
far. Yeah, one of the things I learned actually was, bats are the only mammal capable of flight, and I was just amazed by that because people would think that all bats can fly, flying lemurs. It's in the freaking name, but apparently there's a difference between like flying and like actually being able to flap and generate height, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, some facts. All right, so I'm gonna give. You guys know who I am already if you're listening this deep into the podcast, and so I'm gonna just state my favorite endemic species, and it's kind of a cop out answer too, but I'm proud of it, and it's the tamarau. So tamarau is like a beautiful bovine species. It's actually the Philippines' only bovine species that is endemic to us. Yeah, so carabaos, like we have a bunch of them. You'll see them in the provinces, but we have them all across Southeast Asia and even
Right.
some western parts of Asia. So not that special to us, but the tamarau is very unique to us, and it is also the largest endemic species, mammal in the Philippines, which is pretty crazy, and
Yeah.
arguably even species. We don't have a lot of large animals actually. Well, no, that's a lie. Crocodiles are pretty huge. Saltwater
Yeah,
crocodiles are pretty
dude.
huge.
Lolong was a
Lolong. Oh my
monster.
god. I was gonna
Oh
say.
shit. Yeah,
R.I.P.
that
man.
dude was whack.
Yeah.
Rip my boy Lolong, man.
Yo, but he lived a long and literally long and beautiful life, and
Lolong life.
yeah, a long life. And if anybody interested in checking him out, he's in the National Museum. Like you can see his bones there, and it's just amazing how big that these bad boys can get. But yeah, going back to the tamaraos, and I don't know, it's just iconic of Philippine wildlife, especially because it's the most endangered species that we have in species of fauna in our country right now, and it's actually the most endangered water buffalo in Southeast Asia in general. So with only about 600 left, so that's why I think it's like kind of a symbol also of like hope, and at the same time like a warning that we gotta get our shit together, guys, because if not, a lot of these awesome endemic species are not gonna be here for long. But on a higher note, they're very cute, and I think if I were to get a tattoo, it would definitely be like a tamarau because their horns are just so iconic. So unlike the carabaos where it's like very U and round shape, there's just kind of like a V and it's like stubby and fat, and they're actually a lot smaller also than the carabaos. Like they're probably the size of, I'd say, like a Great Dane.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
they're
They're that small?
They're puny, dude. They're puny.
Very
Oh
cute.
my God,
Yeah.
that makes them so much better. All
So
right.
cute.
They're super small and very elusive of humans. And I was actually doing some research also a couple of days back, and like before they were not nocturnal, but because of the interaction that they've had with humans, well, since there are only about 600 left, they kind of developed into becoming more of nocturnal species, which is pretty interesting because,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, I don't know if their vision's any good, and maybe they've adapted over the years, but yeah, they're night stalkers now.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy actually, because I was doing research too, and a lot of the smaller mammals, like even the deer and stuff, a lot of them are nocturnal, and that was surprising to me. Like, why are these mammals hanging out at night? Are they built for that? I don't know. I was just surprising. That's all.
We need to get an actual zoologist
I know.
up in this podcast.
I
So
need answers.
Yeah, that's I thought you were gonna come up with an answer for that. I was so excited.
No,
It's just a mystery. God.
I couldn't figure it out.
all right,
no.
that does it for the episode. I'm just gonna leave you all blue balls, and I'll see you all next time.
That's it. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
All right, so why don't we move on to the next segment, which I like to call fauna facts. So basically, what we'll do here is we'll each come up with 2 unique facts or news about any animals or wildlife in the wildlife world, and yeah, if anybody wants to go first, I can go first too. So it's like, serpentine motion, and
Okay.
I'm gonna share screen because I prepared some slides ish, not really slides, but tabs.
And
No, I can search also for whatever you guys want. But the first I'm gonna start with is the world's smallest known reptile, arguably, has been found. So it's called the nano chameleon. There's a legit name here, Bruchisia nana.
Oh, that's so adorable.
For those of you guys who aren't watching, it's literally like half the size of your fingernail. Like, it's absolutely puny, and it's definitely the world's smallest lizard, and based on the weight, it's arguably the smallest reptile. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's absolutely insane. So it lives in Madagascar, and so it's about an inch, including the tail, which is absolutely insane. And another fun fact I learned about these puny ass chameleons is that 24% of their body is their penis for the males.
Love
wow.
it.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
Small
Respect.
body. Yeah, I know, right?
He's trying to like look for it.
So I guess size
No,
does matter.
It's all penis, Ariana.
Yeah,
It's
that's it.
just
That's-
it's just all penis.
Yeah, apparently it's inside the body, and when it goes out to mate, it just like comes out. And 24%. I mean, if that was in a human body, let's say for me, then my schlong would be at least like 14 inches.
Yeah, it would be like, whoa, damn.
Yeah, like a leg.
Yeah, I'm
Literally
not
just
gonna
a
do the
third
math.
leg emerging from your. Yeah, oof.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And it still baffles scientists as to why this like reptile is so small, but they said it has something to do with the island effect of it being in Madagascar. So with like
Small island.
small island, they can tend to interbreed, and only like the couple of I guess they thrive being smaller in such a populated island like Madagascar. But yeah, absolutely insane how small it is, and it's just a cool new news in the wildlife world.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like super adorable. Then you brought up the penis thing, and I was like, okay, maybe not. Reminded
That's
me
such
of
a cute name.
the duck thing, like how everyone
The corkscrew,
Yeah.
corkscrew penis duck. Yeah.
Mm.
just surprising things in animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
sex life
pigs.
of animals is actually
Yeah.
surprisingly
Very
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The penis of a pig is also a corkscrew, actually.
Really?
Yeah, most
Does it have
boars.
spikes on it too?
I don't know, but I mean, whatever gets them off, I guess. All right, so that's on a smaller scale, some wildlife news, and for my next fauna fact, I'll be talking about the legendary alpha wolf, which is 1042. Have you guys heard about 1042?
No, wait, what's that?
So it's the name of the wolf. So basically, she was a she was okay. So keep this in mind. She was a 40-year-old alpha wolf that had
Whoa.
generations of different packs and stuff, and they used to see her around the Arizona patches of forest. So in Arizona, you see like here's the map. There's like a bunch of small patches of forest because it's mostly desert, right? But these patches of forest
Mhm.
actually connect in such a way that it goes all the way down to like the jungles of Central America and Mexico. So basically, in Arizona, they'd be seeing these Mexican gray wolves come up all the way, and 1042 used to be a regular. And then back in 2018, she disappeared for 3 years. And only December 2020, she suddenly reappeared with a new bunch of wolf pups. So there's actually a video
Oh my
here of
god.
the cam trail. Sorry, this freaking ad is like totally interrupting my flow. But here, it's just so crazy. This is a 40-year-old wolf, and generally, wolves only live up to about 30 to 35 years. And it's
Oh
just
my god.
absolutely insane how, until now, and she was 40-year-old back then, and so now she's like 42, which is like almost like
Wow.
plus 50% the life expectancy of wolves. And this wolf is just an absolute unit. I mean, living almost twice the normal age range, and now they discovered her again with a new fresh batch of pups. It's absolutely insane. Like you just know that these are some good genes that are being passed on.
Oh yeah. Or it's like some ancient Mexican goddess, just
Oh
keeping
yeah,
the wolves alive.
yeah, some Mayan goddess. That would be a story to tell. But yeah, like here, actually less than 30 years. They live 6 to 8 years on average, and
What?
this wolf is like 40, 42 years old.
Oh
Absolutely
man.
insane. And
That is
Wow.
definitely some Princess Mononoke shit right
I
there.
I
was just
know,
gonna
right?
say Princess Mononoke.
Uh,
This has to be the wolf.
yeah.
Right?
Oh
Yeah,
man.
this is her right here, 1042. You can actually see she looks pretty old already. Like skin's a little lao na,
Oh, she looks pretty good
Hey,
though,
yeah.
huh?
but yeah, pretty
Don't
fit.
hate.
Yeah.
No, and it's super impressive though that she was able to survive this long and remain an alpha at that. So like with the wolf social hierarchy, it's very complex and they're social beings, but generally like when the wolf gets kind of old, and I guess old since the average lifespan is only about 8 years, like they tend to get overthrown by like a new younger fresh wolf. But
Young studs.
yeah, the YGs. But this wolf like remained an alpha for all these years, and apparently she produced about 40 pups, and the most wolf pups in any wolf in US Mexico wolf population. So like I even saw another article claiming that this is probably the most um, prevalent and dominant wolf in North American history. So it's pretty insane.
It's
Sp-
absolutely insane. I wonder how big she is. Did you say
Yeah.
that? Because
Um,
wolves are really big. I follow this TikToker. He just hangs out with wolves, and they're massive. Like their heads
Yeah.
are bigger than ours, type of
mhm.
thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals, to interact with like some wolves
Yeah.
and like
Oh yeah, for
grow up,
sure.
because they're so complex. And I mean, these are not just doggies that you can walk up and like pat on the head. Like you got to treat them with respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect, Mr. Park.
Yeah,
But
these
yeah,
wolves are fucking great shit, dude.
yeah, absolutely
They're like just
insane.
beautiful beings.
Mhm.
Also respect to like just I was just tripping on it for like a quick second. The first human who saw a wolf and was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make that thing my best friend. And then just went at it. You know?
Actually,
Ballsy
Right?
man, very ballsy
Yeah.
man. Have you
He
guys
probably
seen?
died.
Yeah, I mean the first one, like, and
Yeah,
then
like
his son probably learned from like, alright, so
yeah.
don't try to touch his nuts.
just don't do it. Just don't do
actually,
it. They don't like it.
There's actually a movie on somewhat of the origin of a pet called Alpha. Have you guys checked
Ooh,
that out? It's pretty
I'm
cool.
not.
So it's like in the Stone Age type of era, and basically what happens is, this kid of a tribe gets injured, and the wolf pack was about to eat him, and then syempre he tried to defend himself, and then he ended up injuring another wolf. So they were both pilai, and then that's how they kind of like build the bond, and then try to survive together. It's pretty
yeah.
insane.
Actually, I was doing some research before about like how did dogs come about? And it turns out that it wasn't really like our choice that these wolves became our best friends. It was also a survival tactic because we were competing for resources like meat and stuff like that. And so the wolves kind of just decided, like, I think we have a better chance of survival if we just live alongside these humans, because these humans are giving us food and we don't even have to work for it. So yeah, and this was like 13,000 years ago or something.
Yeah, that really makes sense. Like kind of a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, we didn't force it or anything. So it's really cool how we just decided, like, hey, we should be besties.
And obviously it was on their terms too.
Yeah, exactly. Super cool. Now they're like chihuahuas. It freaks me out.
Chihuahuas.
How did we get from that to this?
I know.
Selective breeding, unfortunately, which is becoming a problem in today's veterinary world.
Oh yeah.
Like pugs and stuff. Damn. Kawawa. All right, so
They really are, honestly.
yeah, dude, they cannot breathe. Also, Shih Tzus, like we have so many damn Shih Tzus in the Philippines. Like you're just walking and then you hear a little. It's like,
Oh my God,
that's a pug or a or a freaking Shih Tzu.
Help them.
All right, who wants to go next?
I can go, but I only actually I was supposed to prepare two, but I only prepared one.
That's
so
fine.
while Arianna is reciting, I can Google. But my fun fact is we discovered a new species of whale recently in the world.
Interesting.
It is called Rice's whale. There's only about 100 species left. It is a baleen whale, so it's the one that filters stuff.
How do you spell that? Sorry.
Rice, like rice, like
rice, like rice whale.
Rice.
Oh, there.
Whale, so rice. Yeah, there you go. So technically, we always knew they were there, but we always thought that it was a subpopulation of another whale species. So only recently, when they did some analysis down to like the molecular level, did we find out that it is actually a whole new species of its own. Yeah. So
what are the differences? Like, would you know?
No clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
It looks like a sperm.
Yeah. Almost identical.
It looks like it was thought to be a subpopulation of Bride's whale. And apparently you can only tell when you go through like genetic analysis. So
like not anthropomorphically, but from their bodies.
Like physiologically
yeah,
speaking?
No, well, more of like aesthetically speaking, they look more or less the same.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Oh yeah. With the Y pala. Yeah, they both got those like lines under their chin.
Expandable chin thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, there's only like 100 left in the world, so they are critically endangered.
Wow.
Oh man. Well, at least we discovered it though.
Yeah.
We didn't even know they existed, and we were messing them up already, and we didn't even know they were existing.
Yep. And it's a whale, right? Like, how do we not know? Freaking whale. Like, how do you miss them?
How do you miss that?
Well, I mean, my dude, the sea is like a gigantic place.
Oh yeah.
And
for sure,
we're like still scraping the surface. But imagine just like seeing like one of these whales on like a random dive trip. Like, I wonder if you can see any of these big ass whales in the Philippines. I know that there was a sighting of humpback whales like a couple of years back, but that's about it. Whale sharks.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
they pass through.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by oceans, so I'm sure like they pass around us somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not these guys in particular, but
yeah. But yeah.
Actually, that relates to one of my animal news.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I went into an argument not an argument, but like a deep dive about how the ocean is only 20% or something explored. And so we haven't explored like 80+% of the ocean. And it made me think, like, why do we spend so much time? I mean, I know that space is important, but why do we spend so much time looking out into space when we have so much here that we have yet to discover?
I agree.
Yeah. I just wanted, that was it. And I wanted to ask, okay, my question to you guys is like, what kind of animals do you think could still be discovered. And apparently, whales is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
Johnny's like research just backed it up.
I know.
I'm pretty
It's
sure Lockie's
expensive.
out there.
You think so?
Somewhere, I
Actually,
believe.
Maybe not actually Lockie, but then someone like some species kind of like the Loch Ness, like long neck, like pretty wide body. I don't know, because like deep seas is just such a tricky thing to discover. I mean, we've known that giant squids existed for quite a while now, but yet there's no like live recording of a giant squid yet. Like it's always from necropsies and just the dead bodies washing up on shore. So I feel like there's like so much that the ocean has to offer, pa.
yeah, actually. And you would think that we would find all the big ones at least, right? Because I assume
Yeah.
that the smaller ones or the flora would be
Mhm.
a lot more undiscovered.
Yeah.
But even the big ones, apparently. Crazy.
No, it completely makes sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, thanks for sharing that. Now I know that there's a new whale that exists, the Rhesus whale, not the Isis whale, the Rhesus whale. But Arianna, why don't you go share some of your facts while I mean, Johnny, you don't need to Google up another one. We have a pretty long outline
That's
up ahead
true.
if you want.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
if you
we've
want,
got a lot of stuff.
yeah,
No, I'm good.
you can if you want. But really, what you got?
Okay, so I've been reading up a lot about like endangered species and stuff like that, and extinction and stuff like that. And apparently, one of the most endangered species out there is the vaquita porpoise.
Ooh, yeah.
I Yeah, and it's
I don't
actually
even know
so
what that is.
sad.
How do you
Yeah,
spell that?
VAQ.
UID.
Bakita whale
Vaquita porpoise.
or porpoise? All right. Oh yes, I know
Yes,
this
they
little
are
guy.
so small.
And they're so
Mhm.
cute.
Yeah,
Look
one
at
of the
their cute little
smallest.
faces.
Look at that smile.
Yeah,
So innocent.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And as of July 2020, there's an estimated 10, a
Yeah.
number of 10 left out
10?
in the wild. 10, yeah.
That's
And
insane.
so they're really worried that they could be wiped out at any second. And
Yeah, I mean-
they've tried to do captive breeding. Like there's a whole video on it about how they really tried, and then they just don't survive in captivity at all. You can't breed them at all. So the only thing they can do, talaga, is just to stop the gill net fishing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
at least within a small area, because they're so small. They don't need like a lot.
Even in the
of space.
picture, you can see there's like straight up net like around it. Like what the fuck?
I guess that's how they find it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's all they can
Damn.
do.
That's so unfortunate. They're such cute little guys. And
Mhm.
it literally translates to little cow.
Oh man, I didn't know that, but that's cute.
Well, no wonder why they're dying. They're off the reef of California.
Oh,
Oh shucks.
Shots fired, motherfuckers. Treat your oceans better. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's insane. They're so cute. I mean, I don't even know what to do when there are about 10 left. Like, how do you act on
Yeah.
that?
At
And
that
if the-
point, right?
Yeah. Like, I guess tagging it would be the first step, right?
I'm sure they have. I think they have. Yeah, for sure. But I think what they're saying, at least, like what we can do is just limit our intake of fish that are caught using gill nets. Of course, just to not support that. That's hard. I think that's things like salmon and
Yeah.
sea bass and
That's tough to just totally cut off. From, yeah. Well, I hope your next news is a little bit more uplifting. 'Cause
oh no, it's just the
that's kinda
80% thing.
sad. Oh no. Oh, we getting sad boys out here.
I
Play
know.
some, play some Simple Plan.
You know, I like the discovery news, like where they discovered something new. Those are really good, guys.
Well, it's good. We got a balance, Like
You
ours
know?
is like some positives, some negatives, but
Yeah.
I mean that's the wildlife world for y'all. Like it's like we're not. I mean, we are making some good steps towards like saving these creatures, but I mean the first step's always getting informed so that you can try to, I don't know, choose your actions better.
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't we move on to the next segment? So with a little bit of a lighter note, we could it's a new segment that we'll be playing, which is called Create a Zoo. So the three of us can pick a total of 3 animals, whether existing, extinct, and build a theoretical zoo. So no, we do not support zoos in general. This is all theoretical. I mean, the fact that we're including extinct animals, like, just makes it all the more theoretical. But yeah, so explain your selections as best as you possibly can, because the winner will be chosen by the listeners via Instagram. So if you're listening to this, make sure to check Instagram after so that you can vote on who had the best zoo. So why don't we go ladies first? Arianna, take it
Oh
away.
man. Oh man. Okay. Because when you said extinct, that just sounded really cool, like right off the bat. Like, why wouldn't you want to
Jurassic
go?
Park. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, why wouldn't you want to go to a zoo that has animals that are extinct, right? But I didn't want to go like the dinosaurs, right? Because that's like the obvious choice. Like, I would love to see what a dinosaur looks like in person. But I went for more of the not obvious extinct animals. So like the Tasmanian tiger. I think those guys
The
are really
thylacine.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are amazing.
And the West African black rhino. I think that one's really cool
Ooh,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that they've successfully done in vitro?
Is it?
I know that just a couple of months ago,
Oh, there we go.
they successfully implanted the semen of one of the rhino species in a, like, I think it might be like the northern African white black rhino, where they
Okay.
impregnated the semen via in vitro, and it was successful. So the rhino's currently pregnant right now, and
There
Awesome.
you go.
yeah.
So it could be on the horizon. This zoo could be a real thing. That's
Mm.
pretty dope. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I think the last one was like the dodo bird.
Oh,
just-
nice.
I find them
They're
so
cute.
funny.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
hilarious.
fact that they're actually like pretty smart. Like they're not dumb. I mean, they're birds. They're birds, so it's not saying much. But like, they're
Yeah.
not as stupid as people claim. Like they have really great sense of smell or something like that. I think that's what I was reading up on. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually
They
like
do
a misconception that they're that dumb, I guess, because I know that a lot of people, like, especially the ones that colonized New Zealand, Tasmania, it's like they used to have a saying like "as dead as a dodo," and that basically meant like it's not working or it's obsolete or unavailable. So it's like my laptop ain't working because it's as dead as a dodo. And I know that they used to, like sailors that were sailing to the Australian islands used to keep them on board as live meat because they were that dumbed out that they could just like
Oh, really?
keep them around, which was apparently a bad thing. And interestingly enough, I actually learned that what actually killed or like made dodo birds extinct was not necessarily the humans, but rats. So rats, the rats from England and stuff transmitted disease to them and just completely wiped them out.
Or like ate their eggs. Like that's a big cause of like coastal birds. When their populations decline, it normally can be attributed to either one, domestic cats, or two, rats predating on their eggs. Like that's a huge thing.
That actually makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more so than us, I suppose.
Yeah. It's actually crazy. It's like the little species that you didn't know really made a huge difference are the ones that are, making them extinct. Like the Tasmanian devils also. I know that the reason why the Tasmanian devils died out of the mainland from Australia is because there were too many dingoes that were, I guess, that were invasive from America and stuff like that. They tried to, I guess, a bunch of redneck Americans just brought in dingoes, and then they just started occupying the niche of Tasmanian devils. But they're working on it now, I think, on repopulating them on the mainland. So that's some good news.
Yeah. So it is kind of like also indirectly us, if it's like an invasive thing, if we're bringing them in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, big picture, it's always us naman.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. And even those, like, if there's like a sudden burst in the population of like rats and things like that, that could be because another species is disappearing and thus growing the population of the rats.
That's true.
Affecting, it's crazy how interconnected everything is.
It really is. But yeah, so you got dodo birds, you got the West African black rhino, and What was your third one?
Tasmanian tiger.
Tasmanian
I just find them
tiger.
so cool.
They
Like
They
their
are so
stripes.
cool.
They are super
so
sick.
cool.
They look so
Yeah.
mean, and they're called tigers, but they look nothing like tigers. More like
Have you guys
dogs.
seen the video of it opening its mouth? It could
Oh,
literally
yeah.
like open its mouth like a freaking python. It's like
It's
Yeah.
wild.
2 times the size.
I
It's
love it.
absolutely incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I live for that shit.
That's a good pick. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
good
a good,
pick.
great pick. I actually picked Dodo also, but it's okay. I got some backups.
Oh man.
All right, so Johnny, take it away.
Okay, so I did pick one extinct species and two extant species because I didn't want to go like full extinct stuff. I wanted to, shout out to some stuff that are unappreciated.
Nice.
So I'll start with the extinct one because it's kind of weird. It is the Helicoprion. So it is an extinct species of a cartilaginous fish, and the reason it's so whack is because one of the things that paleontologists just can't figure out is the bottom jaw. So it basically has a circular saw,
Ah,
like in its
seen
mouth.
this.
Yeah, you've seen
Yeah.
that fossil, right?
Yeah.
What's it
So
called? Let's search that up.
Helicoprion.
Oh, there we go. It's a
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah, it's a cartilaginous fish. So
Okay.
its closest living
Ooh.
relative is the chimera.
Okay.
So if you have cartilaginous fish, it's split into two, right? You have your elasmobranchus and your holocephaly.
Oh my
Holocephaly
God.
are the chimeras and stuff.
These are
It is-
gnarly looking dudes.
Yeah. So it's got like this weird buzzsaw jaw thing, and people still don't know if that's actually where that fossil goes. Like I think the first couple of places that people put it was like on its back, like where the dorsal fin is. And then people started putting it in the jaw, and then it's just maybe that's where it is.
Because why? Like what? How does that work?
Yeah.
Fuck if I know. I have no clue. No clue. So
Insane.
it's got like this weird buzzsaw lower jaw. Or see, like some people put it on its nose, and it's just no idea. People have no idea what's going
And
on.
its nose. That's right. How weird.
But how do they know that it came from a fish?
The other
Oh,
parts of the
because
body.
of the cartilaginous, and I honestly, just like the work paleontologists do, is just I honestly don't know how to do anything. Like legit, I have no clue how to just see like.
Oh, good. It's not like any of us do.
Yeah, it's like literally if you took like a picture, ripped it up into like 1,000 pieces, scattered in the wind, and you find one piece and go like, yes, this was the Mona Lisa.
Yes, that's right.
How do people do that? Paleontologists, man,
Yeah.
respect.
Respect, dude.
Nah.
And like,
Respect.
although like we all have like a notion of what dinosaurs might look like, we actually have no idea if they were
Yeah.
furry. They might have had feathers since they
Isn't
were
that
closely
what
related to
they're
the chickens.
theorizing now?
Mhm.
They're theorizing that like they could have had
Basically birds. Yeah, right.
birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Helicoprion, that's my first one. It's a pretty cool thing.
Mhm.
My second one is also a marine animal, but it's extant, and it is the sperm whale.
Hmm.
Just because I think they're super cool because we don't know much about them. And so yeah, you're pulling up a picture of the sperm whale now. But if you look at what's weird is when you look at like most sperm whale like drawings or depictions. Oh, see that one, the killer sperm whale.
This one, yeah.
So for the listeners, it's just an image, and normally a sperm whale is seen as having like teeth on the bottom and the upper jaw, but they actually only have teeth on the lower jaw.
Yeah.
Their upper jaw has sockets, like holes, which the bottom ones plug into.
Oh, interesting.
And what's weird about it is that the sperm whale's teeth, their weird bottom teeth, they don't actually use them to predate on anything. So they're not actually used for hunting or for chewing. So people don't really know what they're for.
Would it be protection? Like against
It could be. It could be. Or if you
the
see like
squid?
yeah. Or people are also some of the main theories. So I think, well, there's two main theories that I know of. And the first one is it's like a mating thing, like aggression between males, because you do see a lot of scratches between the males, similar to that image that Rocket has up now. The other theory, which I do like, is that it's used for dredging the sea floor. Because one surprising like common trait between a lot of sperm whales is that the lower jaw is like disfigured or slightly detached or like kind of busted up. Moby Dick, who is like the most famous sperm whale
Yeah.
ever.
Also
was
the
like
one
his-
that ate Pinocchio, right?
Yeah,
Or was he a blue whale?
definitely,
That's not a
definitely
sperm
not. Oh, I have no idea. It might have been a sperm whale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
be fair.
actually, could have been. But yeah, Moby Dick's like defining trait was like his jaw was like busted up, and that's like a normal trait between sperm whales. So it could be because they dredged the seafloor for I don't know, whatever reason. And then the
Fun.
other cool thing about the sperm whale is their giant noggin is filled with, it's got this giant organ that's filled with spermaceti. So that's a kind of oil. And that's
Mhm.
why they were hunted so much, because that oil used to be what people used to light candles and whatever. It basically was the source of people's energy in the olden days. So that giant organ is used for making sounds, right? So echolocation, making clicks and all of
Mhm.
that. But the two theories I do like about what that spermaceti is used for and that giant noggin is, well, one, people like, I think the obvious one, I think this is not really a theory at this point, it's pretty founded on fact or observation, is that it's used as a giant battering ram,
Hmm.
which is cool. So
To ram
it's
what though? Each other?
yeah, it could be a mating thing, like an aggression
Mhm.
thing, like, deer and rhinos butt heads in the
Yeah.
same way.
Mhm.
This giant battering ram, they started just butting heads with each other. But one theory I do like, which ties into their kind of useless teeth, is that it's essentially a giant sound cannon, and they just use it to blast shit and like stun them and then eat them. That's my theory,
Wow,
which
that
I
would
do
be
like.
such a sick predatory skill. Like for
Right?
krill, just like scream like, and
Yeah,
then they're all
They
just
all
like,
right.
the fuck is that?
Like just sonic blast the fuck out of them, right? Or like a giant squid or whatever.
I like that theory. I'm going with that one.
Yeah, me too. That's my running theory. So
Yeah,
sperm
there.
whales are
This
cool
one.
and a giant mystery. Yeah, look at that shit.
Yeah. Apparently they're loud enough to bust your eardrums.
Yeah, so imagine if you're just a fucking squid, dude. You're just like a little soft boy.
Yeah,
Get
it's like
blasted by a
this guy's
whale
probably
scream.
like deaf as fuck now then.
Yeah, can't hear shit. Can't hear shit.
That's a great selection, my man.
Yeah.
What would be your last one?
So my last one, and it's a good thing we talked about animal penises earlier, because this one has a social purpose. It is the
Okay.
tapir.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I chose the tapir because it has a prehensile penis that is half the length of its body. It uses it to scratch its back and to fight toxic masculinity.
Oh my god.
That's
That's a useful organ.
yeah, people trying to come in with, big dick energy or whatever. They see a tapir with its massive schlong. Just
It's like,
nah, take that toxic masculinity out of here,
yeah.
buddy.
Like shut the fuck up, Brad. Your dick ain't that big.
Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. So that's
But
my
yeah.
third
So
one.
cool.
That's a great choice. They're such interesting animals. Like, I mean, like when they're young, they're kind of built like their skin has like stripes and dots, much like a deer. And then when they grow older, it kind of just all goes to like their
Their
hind
penis.
part. Yeah, their penis. Exactly.
All goes there.
But yeah, very interesting animals. I don't understand the color pattern or what the purpose is. Like, if anything, it makes them just like stick out to predators, right? Like,
Yeah. I like the
Why?
second most asked question is, can a tapir kill you?
well, let's find out.
All right.
I don't
They
think
do
so.
have a tough
Oh my
side.
God,
These animals are
don't.
unpredictable and will fiercely defend themselves when they're young, sometimes maiming or even killing people.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I think that's with any animal, really. If you get too
Yeah,
close
true.
to their young,
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
mess you up, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Probably just like clubs you to death with its giant dong.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
know,
just,
like
like,
how
whips it
they're
around.
the island of Galapagos kind of have like this thing called the island effect, wherein there's so little predators in the island that it seems like all of the animals are tame with you touching them.
Yeah.
Like with the Galapagos tortoise, you could just go on next to them and then just pet them. Even the snakes, the small like mammals and stuff, they're just super chill because they don't have any problem. I think there's some penguins that come every once in a while too, that are pretty chill with humans.
But penguins are pretty chill in general, I think.
Yeah, I
They're
think they're
pretty
pretty
chill.
Generally, as a species, yeah. Bunch of dopey little dudes. I love
I
them.
know.
so proper in their suits.
I know. And they walk so funny on land, but once they get
Yeah.
in the water, just something else. They're just so
Yeah.
majestic all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so you got the tapir, you got the sperm whale, and the helicarprion. So that's a pretty
Mhm.
good.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, that's a good handset. All right, so it's my turn, and I'm gonna give a cop out answer. This is purposely for income generating schemes, and I'm gonna get a T Rex because because you can't say admissions like T motherfucking Rex. When you think of
That's funny.
dinosaur, it's gonna be the T Rex first. So, I mean, they'll generate a lot of attention, and it's always been a dream of mine to see a T Rex. And since they are in captivity, and as I done my research, apparently the T Rex was a terrible hunter, like really, really bad. Like apparently the max um, speed it could run was like 12 kilometers per hour, and it was like
Shit.
really slow. And
Little
since
arms.
it had little arms and a gigantic head, it kind of like ran out of balance quite often, and it pretty much explains why they went extinct. But yeah, imagine that, like entering the zoo and then you have the T-Rex exhibit and it's just like roaring. It's like, Jurassic Park. You can cue the
Ooh, the music.
Dude.
Yeah.
John Williams, the goat.
Yeah. What if it turns out like the T-Rex is just straight up like just fucking big bird, dude? That's just what it looks like.
Yellow
Giant.
feathers.
Yeah, just this giant fucking chicken. It's just like no respect. Like get out of here.
Well, news flash for y'all haters. This is what it is. You paid for it, now get the fuck out of here. But yeah, so I'd pick a T-Rex for purely income generating schemes, and it is like a dream of mine. And then I'd want like another half of the zoo to be an elephant sanctuary, because these are
Aw.
modern day dinosaurs, and they're just incredible animals, super cerebral. And I want it to be a sanctuary and not like an exhibit, so that you can interact with them, swim with them, and then they come. It's like on their terms. They'll go to you when they want to, and it's just a good time for everyone. And it seems like I'm picking like all large terrestrial animals, but my third one is also extinct, and it is the giant sloth. Do you guys know about the
Oh.
giant sloth?
Yes.
Dude, so these gigantic teddy bears stand at 10 feet tall. So if you look at their skeleton, it's absolutely insane. And they were actually omnivores too, so it'd be interesting to see them hunt prey. Like, have you ever seen a sloth try and hunt something? I don't think so. So I don't know. I'm just out of like pure curiosity. Like, I want to see what it would look like to hunt down some prey. Like, I mean, look at that in comparison to like a deer.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that image specifically is giving me weird. I think I have a poster of that somewhere.
Really?
It looks familiar.
That exact image. Jeez, wow, that just gave me some weird nostalgia. Anyway.
Some deja vu. And check out
Was there a book?
check out
I
those
think there's a book.
guns, dude. He's ripped.
Ooh.
A book. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a book. Maybe like The End of Megafauna. Oh, that seems like a good read actually.
Oh, yeah, shit. Fucking.
So plug to Ross D.E. McPhee for making some.
Yeah, I might have to fucking read that book. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, with like the saber tooth, kind of just like grabbing a
Yeah.
chunk out of this whatever you call its artery. Probably like some ancestor of a rhino or a tapir.
No, I don't see its penis. It's not a tapir. Not related. To
Not a tapir. No, he don't got a schlong.
Nuh-uh.
All right, so so that wraps up this game. So let us know in the IG story, who do you think came up with the best zoo? So I had the giant sloth, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and African elephants. Johnny had the helicarpion, tapir, and sperm whale. And Arianna had the thylacine, which is the Tasmanian tiger, dodo bird, and West African black rhino. So
Yeah.
let us know in the comments down below, and we'll take a quick break. And after we get back, we'll play one more game, and you'll get to hear what our dream pet is. And we're back. So to kick off the second half of the show, I'm gonna ask my guests, what is your dream pet? Because like obviously it has to be living this time. It's not like building a zoo. But what's one pet that you wish you could have in the future, like in your retirement home, and then you could just keep an animal there, like whether it's endangered or not. Like, so if you pick an endangered one, let's just assume that they start repopulating and it's like they're doing well in captivity. So what would be your choices for a dream pet?
Okay, this one I actually do have a list, and I'm like working on hopefully getting them one day.
Nice.
Yes.
So why don't
Yeah.
you start?
So yeah, my first one, the main one that I'm going for now is a ball python.
Mm,
You know this, Rocks. Like I
yes.
talk about snakes quite a bit. I love how um what's the word? Like everybody thinks they're so dangerous and everybody is scared. Like so many people are scared of snakes, but they're actually quite misunderstood.
They're
Very.
adorable.
Yeah, and they're so cute. I find ball pythons in particular really really cute, and they're so chill. They'll just hang out like around your neck. I don't.
So
That sounds really
precious.
bad, but like you can wear them. It's also like a fashion statement. I don't
Mhm.
know, and they'll just chill like on your shoulders.
And look at that cute
And
little nose, and it's like
I know
button
it
eyes.
has like
I
a.
can't. I can't. They're too cute.
They're
Fucking
really
love.
cute. Like it's so nice to just boop them because they won't
Mhm.
really bite you unless
Yeah.
you're like stressing them out or anything like that. Yeah, I love how many colors and how many different like morphs. They're called morphs. How many different morphs there are. Yeah, like that. And then there's so many names for the different types of morphs. So there's the spider, there's the bumblebee, there's the banana. Yeah, and then you can mix them up. And this one's the pied, the image
This
that
one,
you're
right?
showing on the screen. Yeah, the pied, where it's
Mhm.
mostly white, but it'll have different spots. And that's the most expensive one because it takes a long time to breed that in particular. Yeah. And it's really cool because like the naturally occurring ball pythons, what they are like in the wild is they hang out under termite mounds and they go into burrows for rodents, like rodent burrows, and they just hang out in that burrow and wait for that rat to come back, and then they attack. And so they only eat like maybe once a month or something like
Yeah.
that, and they always have to change location. So after they eat, they'll like poop and stuff like that, and then they have to leave, or else another rodent won't come back because they can smell the waste of the snake. And so you're constantly having to clean their cage. And I think the feeding is the scariest part.
Definitely.
It's like the biggest reason I haven't actually gotten it yet is because I can't seem to figure out how to feed them rats or
Yeah.
mice. Yeah.
You'll need to have like a steady supply of. You
Mhm.
need to either have a rat guy,
Yeah.
a
You're
mice
sending me
dude,
rats.
a mice man's,
fun.
or
Yeah.
like get yourself some pinkies. But at the same time, do you want some dead mice in your freezer all the time? I don't know. And then
Yeah.
the whole process of thawing it out. But I get you though, 100%. They're like snakes are one of the most misunderstood species in the world. Everybody thinks like
sure.
big bad snake is just gonna bite me. Like it's literally the symbol of Satan. Like when Satan came over to Adam and Eve, he came as a snake, right? But
Yeah, you're not,
I mean,
you're not wrong.
right? And I mean, like most of the time with snakes, it's like for the first 2 minutes, like even a wild snake, let's say a completely wild snake that never interacted with a human, like for the first 2 minutes of you trying to pick it up, it's gonna be snappy, of course, because it's like what's this big predator doing trying to pick me up? But generally, apparently, like most reptiles, after the first 2 minutes of trying to fight back, they just chill out. They're
Yeah.
just like because reptiles don't like expending a lot of energy because they're very opportunistic hunters, so they don't know when their next meal is gonna be, and they're just super chill. And if you were gonna have a ball python at home, as long as you're feeding it well and you can build a bond, they're not harmful at all. Like I mean, look at this kid. He's just
Yeah,
like
these are
he's
actually the most
vibing.
like child-friendly pets.
True.
Actually.
Yeah.
Exactly, and super
They're just
misunderstood. And they have such a cute phrase. So I feel like
They're
if
just the cutest.
if you're
They're just the
introducing
cutest.
snakes to your family, this is like a great way to start.
I think they grew up to like 4 feet max.
That's
These
not
ones in
big at all.
particular.
Yeah.
As compared to the reticulated, which looks
Oh,
like this,
yeah.
but it's like a lot longer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of problems now, especially here in the Philippines, wherein people buy retics not really knowing that they get humongous.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they start getting big, they just keep surrendering it to the DNR. And
Or just letting him loose. And
Yeah.
that's why they find like pythons in villages. Like,
yeah,
why is there a
speaking
python
of
here?
pythons in
Yeah.
villages, like there was actually a python in Palm Village a couple of weeks back. like in the other street. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Arianna does, but yeah, super crazy. Like they just found it like on a lamppost. Like what the hell is a Ritik doing there? And it was
Yeah.
obviously just some families that they didn't, um, completely enclose the enclosure. And
Oh, they're escape artists.
yeah, they are
Actually,
escape artists. Yeah,
they're really sneaky.
yeah. So if you were to get one, you got to make sure that you
Mhm.
know. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Huge, absolutely
Oh,
massive
nice.
reticulated
Yeah.
python.
Beautiful too.
Oops,
Yeah.
not that.
That skin
Yeah,
is incredible, and you can tell that it's a pet because that's not the natural color of
Yeah.
a reticulated
yeah.
python.
Yeah.
This is like a
That's bread.
bread. Yeah, bread morph.
Yeah, super awesome.
Yeah, super crazy. But yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, actually, when Redita first messaged me about it, I was like, "Oh, can I have it?" But then I saw the picture and I'm like, "Okay, wait, no, it's a reticulated, not a ball python." Because he said ball python at first, and I'm like,
That
"No,
is
that's
not
not
a
a ball
ball
python."
python.
Yeah,
You want
yeah,
to go balls deep into the snake world, kagada. Like
yeah,
no dipping your feet in the water. You diving right in.
yeah. My other pet, dream pets, it's actually a bird, like a macaw in particular. I just find them so fun that they talk and then you can just have conversations with them. That's
Yeah.
just another one. But I know that they're a lot harder to bond with. You really need to spend like every single day, like 6 hours a day with them,
Mm-hmm.
or else they'll get mad at you and they'll like give you the silent treatment.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
taray as fuck. Because
Yeah.
they're very intuitive. Like they're
Mhm.
way smarter than dogs, so a lot less forgiving.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with birds also. Like people tend to just buy lovebirds thinking that let's just leave them there and stuff like that. But they're like very smart animals and they actually require a lot of care. Like
Mhm.
I would not advise for someone who's like a first time pet owner to get a bird because there's a lot that goes along with it. And it's so sad because people tend to put like lovebirds in these puny like 5 foot by 5 like cage, but they enjoy like flying around and stuff. But yeah, that's another topic for another podcast. So
Yeah.
Johnny, why don't you go and say your answer for your dream pet?
Yeah, so my dream pet is a fox. I think they're just the cutest things.
They are.
Like you don't have to worry about being like a dog person or a cat person. Just get a fox.
It's
kind of like a
both.
little bit of both. Yeah, yeah. So they're actually canids that they're related to dogs, not really cats. But the way they act are more feline, I'd say. So they're like nocturnal. They yip and they bark.
Yeah, they
like,
make very interesting sounds.
yeah,
Almost like
yeah, there's-
hyenas. It's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What does the fox say? What does
Yeah, what does the fox say? That's a throwback.
a banger.
Yeah, absolute banger. But yeah, foxes are they're just so cute. There's like this one Instagram account where this person basically like rehabilitates
Yes,
caught
Finnegan.
foxes. Yes, that's
Finnegan
exactly it.
Fox.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, and they're just-
Finnegan.
Yeah,
So cute.
and they're just the cutest things. They're just the cutest things. I love them. I love them.
And-
That's it. That's all I can say.
Fair enough. And you could actually own one legally in North America. It's not advisable because
They're not
Americans.
domesticated. Also,
Yeah, very not domesticated at all. And knowing Americans, they're just gonna get them out of the woods and try to put them in a cage and try to snuggle with them on day one. But
Yeah.
it doesn't work out that way. But you can build pretty sustainable bonds with them, and you can get to know. Oh my God, look at this picture! It's hilarious. I don't know if this is Photoshop, but it's great. It's a is
my
that even a
God.
fox? It kind of looks like a wolf, but it's
Yeah.
like or a coyote, but yeah, it's like a fox and the
Look
and
at
the
that little
marmot
fucking thing.
with that stanky leg. But dude, honestly, fox is a great choice. I would definitely pick one if we were in a climate that supported it a lot better. But my pick would be the Philippine sailfin lizard. So do you guys know what that lizard is? So they are endemic to our country, and it is actually legal to own one here. So
Really?
yeah, very legal. You could buy them in accredited reptile stores, and come on, just look at this dinosaur-looking thing, and
Yeah, man.
super interesting like species because they're very unique for having this dorsal fin, and a fun fact is that the males actually do not possess this dorsal fin. So it's only the females that have this dorsal fin. Males will have a little bit of a bump here at top, but the ones that you see with those big, like Spinosaurus type dorsal fin thing, those are only for the females, and they actually use it to attract mates. So I guess these are like considered like double D's. Double D's in the lizard world. Boys, watch out. And
Just damn.
It's like the peacock of the
yes,
lizard world.
yes, exactly. But for females, and it's endemic, so it's easy to recreate an environment for it. And it would be so sick, like in the future, to have kind of like a pond, because they can actually they are aquatic species. And another fun fact is they could actually run on water. So they have fringes in their flattened toes that act like pontoons and allow the lizard to run on top of water using its hind legs. So, and these are pretty hefty lizards.
I was gonna
like,
say those are chunky boys.
these are chunky boys. Look here, I have a video of this dude with a pet sailfin lizard.
Oh,
Look at this guy.
cutest thing. Oh my god.
I know, and look at those like amazing blue tinges, and then it has like
man.
that gorgeous dorsal fin. Oh my god, my internet is not cooperating. But yeah, and he's so chill. He's straight up just perching on this guy's arm. He's
Yeah.
like, "You videoing me?
So cute.
Make sure to get my good angle."
Yeah, check out my fin.
Oh man.
But
That's
yes,
the cutest thing.
Oh.
super sick, very tameable, and I think it would just be perfect for this climate, so you wouldn't have to worry much. And they are omnivores, so you could feed them pechay, kangkong,
Yeah.
some bananas, and then at the same time, if you feel like it, you could like throw in a couple of mice in there and then watch them chase it around there. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
yeah, you'll have to like start it off at a young age just so that they know how to hunt. But yeah, that would be my pick for a dream animal.
Yeah.
But I would love to have all three of those animals in my house one day.
Oh yeah. No, agreed. I'd have any of them as pets.
Right?
True.
Just have a secluded area for the sailfin. Then you could have the fox in and out of the house, and then the ball python inside the house, just surrounded. That's the dream.
Actually,
Yeah.
now I want to throw in. I mean, when you said the fox, actually, now I want to throw in an otter. I know people have otters as pets, but I'm obsessed with otters.
I was tossing up between an otter and a fox actually.
Man,
Those are my top
because
two.
otters are so smart and they just seem so fun. Yeah, and you can
Yeah,
find them here
cute.
too.
And
Yeah.
snuggly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
The
if you
cute
get-
otters, not like
Yeah.
the giant otters.
Oh, yeah,
those-
Terrifying.
those are
The Japanese-
terrifying.
Ooh, those monsters. Yeah.
the Japanese
Yeah.
river otter or something. Those
Yeah.
guys are scary.
Yeah, those guys fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be the regular like Asian small pod.
Yeah, the little cute
Otters.
furry ones. I don't want
Yeah.
that giant nonsense. There's a little goon squad coming in here. Nah.
Yeah, and they're like super social. I mean, look at here. I'll put up a picture real quick just so that the audience can see what these bad boys look like. They're pretty much like the older mean cousin of all of the. I mean, I feel like
Wait,
this
is that-
one. Yeah, I feel like
Not
this
so
one.
bad. Search giant otter.
Yeah, the giant otter.
Whatever.
Okay.
That one's spread, but it's got some fur.
That
Yeah.
one's okay. That one's
When you
Giant.
see the giant otter, oh my god.
yeah. They look like slimy too. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That,
Here.
Oh yeah.
Like, why do they look slimy?
Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Goon squad.
Goon Squad, and they have like these bright red gums that look like they were made for destroying you. Yeah, this guy's not cute at all, actually. Like,
Yeah.
kind of
Oh
banlag,
my God.
getting the Shih Tzu vibes.
Looks like Snoop Dogg a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually, is it? Yeah,
dun,
he's
dun,
compared to an
dun.
otter.
Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, these are terrifying. Like, I don't think, I mean, as much as I love wildlife, if I saw one of these in the wild, I would like keep my distance.
I would be more scared of that than like seeing a shark, probably.
Yeah,
Sure. For sure.
fair enough.
Aggressive.
All right, so speaking of scary predators, why don't we move on to our last segment of the show, which is build a predator. So much like the last game we played, we'll all be giving a couple of like 3 characteristics of predators that you could take and create your ultimate unstoppable ferocious predator. So why not for this round? Let's all say our answers and then say one trait, and then let's just go back and forth.
Okay. Like take turns.
Yeah, let's take turns. So I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna take the body of a hippopotamus, an African hippopotamus. Because I mean, these guys are massive. They're built like tanks. They can run over 48 kilometers per hour, which is absolutely insane. You cannot outrun any of these guys. And these hippos, I mean, they have the bodies that kill more humans than sharks, lions, and wolves combined. So they kill a total of more than 500 deaths. They kill like 500 people per year on an average, and at the same time, for my body, it has a mucus that acts like sunblock. So my predator will age well, and
Yeah.
Asian don't raisin.
Yeah. It's like got smooth skin, but it's also a massive tank.
Yeah, a
So,
massive tank. So that's my first characteristic.
cool.
Okay, I'll go next then. I think I approached this in a little bit of a different way. So, because I really kind of try to think about this one. 'Cause I wanted to win, Get a
Yeah.
little competitive here. I wanted to be the ultimate predator, It's just Randy Orton now. But no.
Oh yeah,
So-
for the listeners, before you start, we'll also be posting our answers on Instagram, so make sure to check that out and vote for the right answer, which is mine. So
Oh wow. Or mine,
No, it's definitely mine because I separated it a little bit. So my main, and I went for arthropods too. So mine's an insect.
okay.
So mine essentially at its adult stage is essentially a dragonfly. And why a dragonfly? It's because they are the most successful predators ever. They have a 95% success rate as a predator, which means that whenever they go after a prey, 95% of the time they will catch it. That is by leagues better than anything else. Like for example, like a tiger has like an 18% success
Yeah,
rate.
it's really low.
Something like that. Yeah. So dragonflies are just beasts, man, and they're just like absolute monsters.
But I have a question. What about the dragonfly?
Yeah.
Like, what's the characteristic there that
Yeah,
makes it
you
such
can't
an awesome
get
color?
an entire dragonfly. Like
Okay. So what I'm gonna pick about it is, well, it's a little bit of a mix, right? Because it's got two main characteristics. One, it's got these giant spherical eyes, right, which give it like supreme vision. But more importantly, the way the eyes, from a neuron perspective, coordinate the wings. So it has 4 wings, each of which can move individually, like independently of each other. So they're just like the most agile motherfuckers out there, and like they literally attach sensors to like the neurons in the dragonfly just to see how well they track stuff. And it
Damn.
literally is like they're just so good. And what's nice about it is they aren't reactive, right? And that is what makes the dragonfly so like beastly. They predict the flight patterns of their prey.
Dope.
So they actually straight up know where the prey is going to be. And because they don't have anything to catch it, they literally just have a bunch of hairy legs and they just form a basket and they just know where the prey is going to be and they just little catch it and they start chewing on it. So dragonflies.
The dragonfly is a bit like agility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of that predictive
Yeah.
coordination.
beast mentality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba
The
mentality.
dragonfly mentality.
That should be a
is so
thing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so good pick, Mariana. It's your turn.
So when I was thinking about this, the first thing that came to my mind, like what it means to be a good predator, for me, it was the ability to hide also. So I went for camouflage, and not just the chameleon camouflage, but the cuttlefish camouflage.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they have the fastest ability to camouflage. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but then they can actually like move through something and they're camouflaging while they're moving. Like they're changing their form. So not just their colors, but also their form to match whatever they're on. So yeah, it's that camouflage of the cuttlefish is the first.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Like I've seen
Yeah,
this
I think
video
about that.
of
It's a good one.
it's like a cuttlefish like moving across a checkered board, and it was
Yeah.
like flawlessly like
Yeah,
changing its
and that's
color.
like not a natural thing, right? So
Yeah.
it clearly matches whatever. So it's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll try to pull that video up. But yeah, it's super insane how fast they can change the color. And so, would you take the body or just the pure skill of being able to camouflage with the surroundings?
The skill of being
The skill. Oh, okay. I found the video, so let's just show the viewers what Ariana's talking about. So here you have the
For all you
cuttlefish.
listeners, you can just suck it.
Yeah. Get on this YouTube shit, man. I work hard on this. Like blood, sweat, and tears. Come on, guys.
There we go. Oh man,
And they're
So
cute
starting.
too, honestly.
Yeah.
Starting to
it's
feel
like
the ground.
figuring it out. Yeah.
And I believe they show like an aerial view of
Like
how
what
it's gonna
it
look like.
Mhm.
There we go. So it's getting the colors, getting the palettes.
But look, it's like making a square like right in the center of itself.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
really match. And this is like not a natural pattern, right? And so it's
This
really
is
trying to
very
figure
natural.
out like, wait, how do I
Here.
match this? You
Then it
know?
like moves on to the couch and bam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How cute is that?
Yeah,
It's like
that's
on the
adorable.
couch.
Yeah, it's the cutest aquarium setup ever.
I know. Get me one of those. All right. So why don't you say your second skill, Ariana?
Okay. My second one is speed. And so it's another aquatic animal. It's the mantis shrimp. It's those little like punchers that they have. And so I think it's the speed in general, like how fast they can move those things. I think they're one of the fastest.
Yeah. I think like 0.2 seconds they strike their prey.
It's like 50 times faster than our blinking. So just like blinking, it's 50 times faster than that. So I also heard that it's even faster than sound or something.
Yeah.
And basta, like when they actually strike, the water around it is the temperature of the sun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like super.
So it's just that speed. And it can just, yeah.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the mantis shrimp because mine is also my second characteristic is also a mantis shrimp, but I'm gonna let Johnny go first.
Okay. Yeah.
It's different
Those
than
those are good ones. It's like a superpower.
Nice.
It's kind of like cheating.
Just
Just build your superhero. I'm Superman. All right. No, that's a good one. I didn't think
get
of
the
that.
fuck out.
Yeah. No, so I'm still sticking to insect squad over here. So I took the venom from the most venomous insect, which is the harvester ant. Surprisingly,
Ants. Wow.
yeah. So this particular ant,
Ants are really
supposedly-
cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
ants
they
are-
are pretty cool. But the harvester ant apparently has some pretty wicked venom. So if I stick it in my sort of dragonfly-ish body and neural system, it takes 3 stings to kill a rat,
Wow.
which is pretty cool for a bug.
Yeah, for an ant.
Yeah.
For its size. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. So that's my thing because I don't want to stick to just catching bugs. I want to fuck up some mammals.
Yeah.
yeah. Something,
Damn.
what, 10 times its size?
And they just look like normal soldier ants actually, but
Yeah, there's little buggy boys.
yeah, they pack a punch and strength in numbers. So that's a good pick actually. So it's funny that you guys like all pick like well, Ariana's is more of aquatic than
Yeah.
Johnny's
my
sticking to the bug's life, but I'm a mix it a little bit. So as I said earlier, my second characteristic is also a mantis shrimp, but specifically the tiger mantis shrimp. And what I'm getting from them is their eyesight, because apparently they have one of the most complex eyesight in the entire animal kingdom. So they have 3 eyes that can each move independently and see beyond humans on both ends of the light spectrum, meaning they can see ultraviolet and wavelength lights. So infrared wavelength lights. So absolutely crazy. They move independently and they basically got pinpoint accuracy. So if you pair that with the body of a hippopotamus running at 48 miles per hour, I'm packing a big boy because I want any species as a GG under me. But yeah, so like that amazing eyesight that can see in the dark, see in the day, and all move independently. So yeah, that's my pick. So why don't I pull up a picture of the mantis shrimp just so that the viewers, come on guys, you still have one last round to get on this video recording. Oh shit, it's all the cooked mantis shrimp. All right, never mind.
man.
no. We
Tragic.
don't support that.
We don't support that, but they're delicious.
That's so trippy though. I've actually tripped out on it a little bit. Like just imagining what they can see
Right?
with that spectrum of light. Like,
Apparently I got my answer from this new series on Netflix called Night on Our Planet. You guys should check it out. It's amazing because basically
I'll watch
it's
that
like
tonight.
it's like our planet, but they're using hypersensitive cameras that capture the behavior at night. So
Wow.
that's like one of the
Love it.
things that I've always been interested in. Like, how can the fish see if there's no light? Like, I mean, what happens in underwater when it's like pitch black? I mean, open seas are already so dark. Like, what else could possibly be happening during nighttime? So it's a great like docu series, and I suggest you hit it up. Not Attenborough though, so I mean,
Okay.
take what you can get.
There are others.
Yeah.
Other good ones. Come on.
All right, so for my last characteristic, and I'm sticking to my big boys out here. So I'm getting a head of a great white shark, and solely for the purpose of it having an insanely bite force of over 4,000 psi. So that's pound force per square inch, and just for the mere fact it looks badass as fuck. Like, it's just so cool to have that
Style
gigantic,
points.
yeah, like head of a great white shark with that amazing eyesight, with the speed and the sunblock. So that's my predator.
Yeah, that's
It's a
pretty
tank,
good
dude.
one.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
Johnny's and mine are like really small, cute little
Yeah.
things, and yours
Mine's-
is just out here. Like,
Yeah, mine's literally a bug, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, mine's like a
I'm clearly like invested in a large terrestrial
yeah.
Yeah,
disease.
yeah. No, it's okay. I got you. Because my third trait is my wild card.
Okay.
It's the penis of a tapir. No, I'm kidding.
You already got it.
Endowed. No, so I'm sticking to and I wanted, and the thing I'd say about what differentiates my predator is that for you guys are only predating as an adult, right? You're only fucking shit up as an adult. And I wanted to kind of twist that on its head. So my little insect has a larval stage, and it is the larval stage of the kamikaze horsehair worm.
The fuck?
Yeah. So what's cool about the kamikaze horsehair worm is in its larval form, it gets eaten. Okay. So it just gets straight up eaten, typically by a cricket.
Oh yeah.
And once it's eaten by a cricket, it then takes over the central nervous system of the cricket and makes the cricket drown itself.
Oh
So
my
it makes the
god.
cricket just jump into some water, drown itself, where it will emerge as an adult into a dragonfly venomous monster. So it kills at every point of its life cycle.
That's fucking gnarly, dude.
That's wild.
That's so gnarly. How do you think they can control the neurosystems and the, I don't know,
I
if
have
crickets
no
would have a frontal lobe? Like, how the hell do
Yeah.
they control that, right?
It
I
goes
have no
straight to
fucking
the.
clue.
And it's
It's in the gut, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. I have no
And
idea.
imagine you're like a cricket, and then you just ate a bunch of stuff, and then out of nowhere, like, I want to swim, and then you go into the water, and then you're just like drowned.
It's like, oh my god, I'm a bug. Fuck. Yeah.
Was
and
I
it
always a
fucking
bug?
bad, huh?
Yung pala, these kamikaze horsehair worms just basically induces the insect in psilocybin.
Yeah, yeah.
Strip some acid.
Yeah, but there is that fungus, right? There's also
Yeah.
the one that
the-
grows out of the head.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cordyceps.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
another fucked up one.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Actually, it's like kind of sidetracked, but in the news a couple of weeks back, there was this dude that tried to literally inject himself with psilocybin. So psilocybin is the psychoactive substance in mushrooms, and apparently for him, like eating it was just not enough for him. He wanted to get out to the entire world, like maybe head to Narnia or some shit like that, and decided to literally intravenously inject some psilocybin into his system, and he almost died actually, like because what was happening was the fungi, they were actually growing, like feasting off his red blood cells, and they were growing inside him. So he was immediately rushed to the ICU, and he was there for like 14 days comatose, and fortunately for him, he survived. But unfortunately for science, it would be amazing to see like just some magic mushrooms grow out of his skin.
That's crazy. Actually, sorry, building on that, I there's another piece of news about how do you say that?
Psilocybin.
Psilocybin. Yeah, apparently there's a theory going around that the early humans, like monkeys,
Yeah.
they ate magic mushrooms, and that's how we developed our cognitive abilities.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah. That's the stoned ape theory. I'd be
The
like,
stoned
yeah.
ape, that's the one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
stoned ape theory.
So that's why they
Let's
call it
go.
the Stone Age. Yung pala, that's the Stoned
Yeah.
Age.
Yeah, it's just straight up. They're all just like high as fuck.
Yeah, that's how we got here, guys.
Yeah.
I should touch this
Just-
dog. I should make this mine. That's
Existential
how it started,
crisis.
folks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just some fucking monkey eating some mushrooms.
I'm a monkey. It's just like start.
Get the hell out of here, Adam and Eve. That's the origin of man.
100%.
I don't care about your work, Darwin. I don't care how many books you published. It's mushrooms.
Charles, you fucking dork. Monkey
Square.
eating mushrooms. Yeah.
All right, so before we get too carried away, Johnny, you're next. Your last trait.
Oh, that was mine. That was my third
Yeah,
one.
that was
Oh, that was your third. Sorry,
that's the third one
Arianna.
already. It's me. Okay, so my third one. Damn, that was such a good one. Anyway,
Yeah.
my third one is also venom, but it's aquatic species again. So it's the blue ring octopus. Yeah, those guys are really tiny, but they pack enough venom to kill like 25
Yeah.
grown
It's-
adults.
It's
And
ridiculous.
they can, I think, or something. Yeah, and then if you get bitten by a blue ring octopus, you're dead in about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
So
it's nuts.
Quick acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great skill. And if I'm not mistaken, Johnny, you had a pretty close interaction with one, right? Like in one of your...
Not a blue ring dog.
Not a blue
I-
ring.
I had one in my tank.
You actually owned one. Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, like we owned one, and it was so crazy because my dad, like, he loves marine life, and he got one in Cartamar. Like he was like, oh, that's a really cute octopus. What's it called? And the guy in Cartamar, he picked it up with his bare hand, and he was like, this is a blue ring octopus. And my dad was like, put that down. Get that out of your hand. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my
They're
god.
so small, very cute. And then it
Yeah.
disappeared. We don't know what happened to it.
Oh man.
He probably escaped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just escape and start biting the shit out of that one guy.
Damn.
Picked up
Like-
a motherfucker. touch-
That just proves how badass, like, and how goony these Cardamar
Yeah.
people are. Like, just picking up, straight up
Actually.
picking up blue ring octopus by your bare hand.
Insane.
I would love to see one though. They're so cute.
They
No, I saw
are.
box jellyfish is what
Box
I had a
jellyfish,
close
yeah.
encounter with.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
jellyfish.
What happened there again?
No, I was just swimming and it just literally just like vroom, vroom, like, oh shit, cool.
I should get the fuck
Swam
out
by
of
my
here.
face. Like 3 inches from my
Mm.
goggles.
Damn.
I was actually contemplating putting a jellyfish here. But yeah, I'm terrified of jellyfish. Like,
Jellyfish are straight up aliens, man.
yeah, I got stung, I think it was about
Yeah.
10 or something by a box jellyfish.
Yeah, and going back to
It
your...
was dead though. It was dead,
Oh,
yeah.
but yeah, it still packs enough venom, I guess, for you
Yeah.
to poison, for you to get
Yeah.
affected. But yeah, going back to your 20% thing, like, I don't understand why humans are so obsessed with searching world outside Earth when there's so much in the ocean that's yet to be discovered. I mean,
Yeah,
20%, that's ridiculous. And you know, there's so many other creatures and stuff that you could be searching out, but yeah, like, before the show gets too long, let's just wrap it up again by
Yeah.
saying our answers. So I picked the body of a hippopotamus, the eyesight of a tiger mantis shrimp, and the head of a great white shark. And you guys say your answers because I don't want to butcher it.
Okay. I chose the camouflage of the cuttlefish, or the speed of the camouflage. I chose the mantis shrimp's speed of attack, so the 50 times faster than blinking of an eye, and also the heat that it produces.
Insane strike
And
speed.
the venom, yeah, the strike speed, there you go. And the venom of a blue ring octopus.
Yeah, so I picked the flight and neural system of a dragonfly, the venom of a harvester ant, and the mind control function of the kamikaze horsehair worm larva.
Damn. So, realistically speaking, I feel like your predators would be a lot more successful than mine, but mine's the most badass. So, come on, guys.
At a head of a shark, bro. It's
Yeah, head of a
style
shark.
Yeah,
points.
dude.
Yeah.
Can't
You're the most
deny.
styling for sure. I'm the least styling by far. I'm just literally like fucking mosquito or something.
Yeah, but live count. Oh my god, that would be insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I guess that about does it, and I just want to wrap up the pod by saying thanks again for joining me in this Homie Humpday episode. And I honestly had so much fun talking about the one thing that I'm very passionate about, which is animals, and I learned a lot from you guys as well, from the different extinct and existing species. And before I go, I think now would be a perfect time for you guys to plug in where people can find you or the work that you do, because you guys both have pretty interesting work. So Arianna, you can plug in the Siriri series, and
Yeah.
Johnny, plug in your energy conversations on LinkedIn.
All right, I'll go first since mine's pretty quick. You can find me at @re_Norton. I haven't done it in a while, but I plan to be posting more nature series, which is just little posts, little bites of information about the crazy world we live in, the natural world at least. And of course, you can find Rocky and I at For the Future, PH.
Pew pew
Bang, bang,
pew.
bang, bang. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
On to you, Johnny.
so for me, you don't need to follow me, I guess, but definitely follow the Philippine Taxonomic Initiative at PH Taxa. And you can also, if you do a bunch of stuff and follow a bunch of guidelines that Rocco will post, you will win a little goodie. Wait, let me actually see if I can just pull it up.
Yeah, so I'll be posting the guidelines for our giveaway, and probably add like a little short bit at the start of the episode just to let people know what's up. But Johnny, why don't you show them what you have to offer?
I just have to remove the oh, that's the wrong one. How do I do that? Nope, that's not it either.
Not Jack Nichols.
How do I do this? None. There we go. Had to remove the ball and python behind me.
Yes.
All right, so explain what's going on in that poster.
So this is a lovely illustration by Rexen Manikis, who you can also follow. We will post her handle. She's an excellent artist, and it is the various Philippine Paphiopedilum species. So it's like an orchid, if I'm not mistaken. But they're quite beautiful, and you can frame it, and it can be yours if you do a bunch of stuff that Rocket tells you to do.
Yes, so follow me. I am your Führer. All right, so I guess that about does it, and I want to thank you all listeners for tuning in to another episode of the Rockets Modern Life podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to share with hashtag RML podcast. Hit that follow on Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram so that you never miss an episode. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one. Deuces.
Stay.